give her the spins with her ends, cause yeah, she did it again. A few more tracks, and this time she bought friends. Big baby on her way up and showed the stairs to a man's. Now salute the general, TGLX got plans, yeah. Damn, it's the intro? Yes, it's the intro. Damn, this is the intro? Yes, it's the intro.
They don't know what they info. If it coming like this on the intro, what they here for? If they want the heat, you know who to send for your info. Buy my money like Venmo. This music don't work out. I know how to get it from my ends low. How you feel though? Cause hey, they can't rock with us. Galaxy ain't no stopping us. They ain't try to steal my style. I'm feeling like I just shopping. Can't trust them cause
The seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Strap in. This will be a good one. Two one-loss teams getting together as they're underway on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
This defense for the Vikings, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
The Lions at 3-1 here through their first 4 games. And they come in off a disappointment last time out. That put an end to their modest 3-game win streak.
And it always hurts when you lose a tight game, as they did a week ago. I think each player starts thinking to himself, if I could have played better one play here, one play there, maybe it could have changed this team's fortunes. But it absolutely illustrates how important it is to play a complete game if you want to win in the NFL.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9.
They'll try the air now with Goff. He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked by Cameron Bynum.
Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Cousins eluding the pressure right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hope they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw is Cousins. Well, that one sailed a bit, but the catch is still made. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, 21 yards. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got us a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
From the 22, Cousins.
And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson.
A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Vikings use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point up and good from Santoso.
And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And the interception on that opening drive winds up leading to the touchdown, so now it's kind of time to start over.
Yeah, it certainly is, and his first throw of the game. But I like the way his guys rallied around him. Oftentimes, the quarterback is the leader, right? He tells everyone what to do. In this case, I noticed his linemen around him kind of patting him, saying, let's go, big boy. You're still our leader. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. Play action. It's Goff. He's got a man complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
It's a gain of 35. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now they go screen. It's complete. And so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Here's Jacobs. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Josh Jacobs, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out.
Taking it right down Broadway. The 20. Touchdown, Vikings.
His 2nd rushing touchdown of the year and 3rd overall. And the Vikings have moved out in front. Extra point up and good from Santoso.
And that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This one will come out to the 25 as Pollard is going to elect not to return it. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that.
He's got a man, complete.
And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
A big play there for Detroit. 51 yards. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. It's Williams on the catch.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They'll fake the give. Now Goff.
Open man, and he's got Williams. Touchdown, Lions.
From 21 yards away.
And the Lions are an extra point away from drawing level.
Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
First down, here's the run with Cook.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Here's Chandler on 2nd down.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. You don't see that a ton, do you? With the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
He got outside the pocket there trying to improvise, and he was calling for the ball downfield, but still the interception.
I think what happened, he did call for the ball thinking that he was open, but I think the quarterback spotted him too late. And that margin that he had on the defenders, that got eaten up, and they came up with the interception.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Nice job escaping the pocket. And, boy, he took the shot downfield towards the end zone, didn't he? Trying to go for 6. It just wasn't there against that coverage. They were ready to prevent the big play.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Off play action. Here's Goff. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Vikings are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Well, they were in a great position to take the lead, Charles. Obviously, all they needed was a field goal to do that. They wanted the touchdown. Unfortunately, they're going to get neither.
And you know every offense talks about the same thing each week, don't they, Brandon? They want to end every drive with a kick, whether it's a field goal attempt, a point after the touchdown, or at worst, a punt. This time they had that opportunity but didn't get it because you know the field shrinks that close to the end zone, and that allows the defense to tighten up their coverage, and they picked that one off.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Cousins.
That's complete to Chandler on the check down.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 3rd down.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Here's Cousins. Oh, it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted.
Picked off by Kirby Joseph.
And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
Ah, you're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an
things for
interception.
different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a
too many syllables.
Yeah. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
That's caught inside the 20.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
Now a handoff to Chandler.
And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Dalvin Cook in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half. Extra point up and good from Santoso.
And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away.
Taken from about the 12.
The final shot before break here. Goff. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by a Caleb Evans. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
This offense ready for the first drive of the third quarter. Well, quarters number 1 and 2 entertaining. We saw some good offense points put up, Charles, and all tied on the scoreboard.
And it sets us up for what could be a really fun second half because we've seen both sides score almost at will here in the first half. And now, here in the second half, getting the ball first, you've got to think, hey, we can go out and really run our offense the way we did in the first half. But if I'm a defensive player, all I'm thinking is,
he's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. 72 yards. And the Vikings come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Extra point up and good from Santoso. And they will take a 7-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, Charles, you and I said at intermission, feels like we're set up for a good second half. Well, the other side scored. Now it's up to them to answer. How do they respond here with their first drive of the second half?
Well, bottom line is they just saw the ball go in the end zone against their defense, and they saw what good offense looks like. They believe they've got a good offense as well. Run the best plays you've got to the top performers you have and try to move that ball down the field for an answering score.
Second down, Jacobs once more.
And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And they'll bring him down 1 yard shy after a pickup of 4.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the first down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
Here comes the Lions punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
They run it with Chandler. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. 105 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Cousins throw complete to his receiver, Thielen. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Here's Chandler. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, here's Cousins. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 43. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Counter play. Here's Chandler. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Cousins now. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. Up and good for Santoso. 3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Pollard to return from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relative. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. On play action, Cousins completes it to the fullback, Ham.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Well, clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit him over the top.
And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 121 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
They go play action. Cousins. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now on the afternoon.
And the Vikings are closing in on a 4-1 start as they extend their fourth quarter lead. Extra point up and good from Santoso.
And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Pollard to return from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears.
And a third interception thrown by Cousins.
It's the former Patriot Devin McCourty.
And the Lions are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 17 yards on the play as they try to eat into this 17-point deficit. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Caleb Evans. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Count them now, 6 interceptions between last week and this week. Now, the 3 picks last week helped them to a win. They're in the driver's seat once more.
And they're the ones that are doing all the leading, aren't they? Right? The 3 interceptions last week, that led to a victory. 3 interceptions so far in this game, that has them out in front. We often think of the offense driving things. In this case, it's the defense, not just holding teams, but creating big plays for themselves.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Off the play fake, Cousins.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Cousins. Shakes off the sack. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
And here's Ryan Wright now.
Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this one hits at the one, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
He's going to let it fly.
And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
3rd and long. It's gone. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked by Cameron Bynum.
Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Now Chandler.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all